Okay, chapter 14, day 2. What we're going to look at today is how do we use law of cosines to find angles. Now, we're going to find angles of a non-right triangle. We're also going to look at how do we find the area of any triangle, okay? So, let's start looking at finding angles. So if I look at the initial law of cosines formula that we did on day 1, all right? C squared is a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. We use that to find the sides. If I go ahead and subtract the a squared plus the b squared and then divide by a negative 2ab, I have now solved for cosine c. You don't have to do this math. I want you to know this formula. And we're going to use this formula to find angles. Again, the letters don't mean too much except that this letter C and this capital letter C have to be across from each other in the triangle. So I'm going to take one of the sides squared plus the other side squared minus this side that's across from the angle I'm trying to find, squared, divided by twice the first two sides that I had. All right? So that's the formula I'm going to use. You just need to know it. Okay, everything in this formula is positive except for this side that's across from the angle that we're trying to find. Okay? Then, what do we do here? We use second cos on the calculator to find the angle. Make sure you check your modes. So, let's take a look. Find the largest angle in triangle ABC to the nearest minute. If A is 7, B is 15, and C is 10. All right? So if A is 7, B is 15, and C is 10. Largest angle. Well, the largest angle in any triangle is across from the largest side. Okay? So right now, this little question mark, this is the angle I'm trying to find. So if I set this up properly, what I'm trying to find has to be the minus part. So these two parts will come first. So 10 squared plus 7 squared minus 15 squared over 2 times 10 times 7. That is cosine, and in this case, letter B. Again, don't get hung up on the letters. Just know that this side is across from the angle we're trying to find. All right, now, the common error that's made right here is how we use our calculator. So to eliminate that, you're going to enter in the top part and hit enter, and you're going to get negative 76. You're going to enter the bottom part, hit enter, you're going to get 140. Always write it as a fraction like this, then you'll eliminate the chance for making an error. Now I do second cos, and I get 122 degrees, and when I hit second apps, degrees, minutes, seconds, it'll give me 53 minutes. If it went to the nearest degrees, then it would be 123 degrees, okay? But again, you just need to know this formula, which is a squared plus b squared minus the side across from what we're trying to find the angle of, squared, over 2 times those first two sides. And then use second cos to get the angle. Area of a triangle. The area formula uses a K now, and don't ask me why they use a K, but they use a K. And K is 1/2 base times height. It's kind of what we've always had. But because I can use it for any triangle, it's 1/2 these two sides, and I'll show you where the two sides are in a minute, sine of an angle. This angle has to be between the two sides. So these are two sides. This is an angle in between those sides. So let's take a look at this one. Find the area. They give me 3 sides. I first need to find the angle, so I have to do what I did just a minute ago. So I go through 8 squared plus 10 squared minus 7 squared over 2 times 8 times 10, and I get an angle. I cannot round yet. If they give me the angle, then I can find the area, but sometimes you have to find the angle first. I cannot round yet. I have to do full calculator display. So now the area is 1/2, 2 sides, and the sine of the angle between it. Well, if this is my angle, then the two sides that the angle is between is is 8 and 10. I have to use 8 and 10 in the formula because 8 and 10 make up this angle. So I plug in 1/2 8 times 10 times the sine of this angle that came from my calculator. Hit enter and it gives me the area. So again, area is 1/2 2 sides times the sine of the angle in between it. So in this case, we could have picked any angle. I picked this one. And once I know this angle, 2 sides and the sine of the angle between it gives me my area. And that's it. We're going to practice this in class.